Today, there were victories for the All Blacks, the British and Irish Lions, plus the four-time world champions, the Springboks. There will be some head-scratching, as some would have expected bigger winning margins. And my colleague Mawande Mateza was spending some time with some rugby fans in northern Johannesburg this evening. Let's now cross live to him so that he can give us a wrap of today's action. Mawande, over to you.
Good evening, Bali. Yeah, you're absolutely right. At the end of the day, it was a 42 points to 24 victory for the Springboks, but it's not a performance that would have made their fans happy, as the Boks produced a disjointed second half performance where they only scored 2 tries as compared to the first half when they scored 4, and also allowing the Italians to score 3 tries of their own. I'm with some fans at 86 Public in Randburg who've been watching the game keenly, and I just wonder, gentlemen, what you make of tonight's game between South Africa and Italy out at Loftus Versfeld.
Yeah, the game was very exciting, high-scoring match. Yeah, the Springboks went on a very good start to begin with, but I feel like in the second half you allowed Italy back into the game, and like it was also good to see the young guys who were given an opportunity, like Vincent Chituka, putting up their hands. Very good performance overall, and it was a very exciting game.
And you're wearing a All Blacks jersey, so I'm assuming very obviously that you're not a Springbok fan, but what did you make of the World Champions match today?
Well, in terms of the game today for the All Blacks, I was very impressed in terms of their performance. But then for the first game, I can actually understand as a fan. But then they can actually improve in terms of the backline and how the structure of the game. They should read the game as well. But I'm actually quite happy. Thank you.
So now the South Africans were playing against an understrength Italian side. Is there perhaps some sort of thinking that the Springboks might have underestimated the Italians just a little bit with their performance today?
No, as you all know, that like those are professional rugby players who go into every game understanding that the test match is quite a very important match and you're representing the country. But I feel like, yeah, they did in the second half allow them, they got comfortable and allowed them back into the game. But underestimating, no, I don't think so.
Who would have impressed you tonight with their performances?
I have to say Vincent Chituka, some strong carries there.
Was there anybody else? Because
Curtly Irons had quite a very exciting game as well.
Because I was going to mention that Andre Pollard came back into the side for the first time this year. We also had Mone van der Berg winning the man of the match prize at the end of it, and Damien Willemse also coming back after 2 years. The last match he played was at the 2023 Rugby World Cup final. How happy were you to see some of those old players coming back for tonight's match?
Yeah, especially talking about Damien Willemse, like he looked very good. He wasn't as rusty as I thought it would be for someone who hadn't played rugby for such a long time. So a great performance for him as well. So it looks like we're in for a good season, eh?
You speak about a good season. I'm going to come back to that a little later, because the big match of the year is undoubtedly the 2-match series between the Springboks and New Zealand, happening in New Zealand a little later this year in the Rugby Championship. But I want to come to you for the New Zealand performance today. Where do you think they can get better before they come play against France again next week?
Can you come again?
Where do you think that New Zealand can do better, considering that they only beat an understrength French side as well by only 4 points? Where do you think they can do better for next week's match?
In terms of their performance, they can improve. In terms of they can't really play thinking of that they can do better. But I think they need to work on the attack and in terms of their defense as well. So I don't know whether they cocky too much, but they should never underestimate their opposition as well at the same time. Because France was playing their B team today, but imagine if they were playing against the A team. It could have been something worse, but I'm quite happy with the score, but I'm not quite happy with the performance today. Yeah.
And then I want to come to you with the Springboks. They're playing Italy again next week down at the coast in Gqeberha. What would you like to see from Rassie Erasmus with the personnel? Would you like to see any changes or any other players coming into feature for that game?
From my side, I'd like to see more of Lotiaga getting more like starts, because I feel like he's missed a lot of rugby. So I'd like to see the momentum continue. And yeah, I think it's up to Rassie. We can never predict how, Rassie is unpredictable. So it's up to him. Let's see how it does. But yeah.
And in terms of the performance tonight, I don't think you would have been completely happy. Yeah. So what would you like to see the team work on, and what would you like to see from them as a unit next week?
Discipline, being sharp in the second half and not letting the game get out of hand. Let's try to keep it composed, and yeah, that's it from my side.
And then, gentlemen, for an atmosphere like this tonight, it's been lively, it's been energetic, it's been spirited, and people really enjoy the game. What has been the best part for you guys to come to a venue like this to enjoy the game communally?
Well, it's quite exciting seeing the boys here all together, supporting their teams differently, having their point of view and everything. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite nice, I must say.
Yeah, and the banter between the gents, it's a good opportunity to see our friends you hadn't seen in a long time, eh? So good for socializing and catching up with new friends, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I hope I'll be back for that Springbok versus New Zealand game, because I would love to talk to you guys again when the Springboks play New Zealand in the Rugby Championship. Thank you very much for joining us on The Full View tonight. Thank you very much to those gentlemen and all the fans that we've spoken to on The Full View tonight for that match between the Springboks and Italy that took place out at Loftus Versfeld in Pretoria. I want to remind all the SABC News viewers that next week's match between South Africa and Italy will take place at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Gqeberha, and it will be broadcast live on all of the various SABC platforms. I'm Mawanda Mateza in Randburg, and thank you very much for joining us on The Full View tonight.